Okay. Echo. Does it work
Does it
now? Oh,
work
now
now?
we've
Now
got an
we've
echo.
got an echo.
I've been
I've
having
been
so
having
many
so
troubles
many troubles
lately.
lately.
Let me just
Let me just
quickly
quickly
go
go
into
into
here and turn that off, and that should help. Every time I go in, the settings are different. So is that better? Thank you for that. Hello, Deborah from Jindera. Is that how you say it, Jindera? And can you hear me now? Sound back. Excellent. Good. Thank you, Roz. Well, at least we caught it early, right, today. So there's only, a minute or so of no sound. And I was just telling everyone what a beautiful spring day it is here. So we are officially now in spring, and the weather has been proving it this week. It's just gorgeous and sunny and lovely. Hello, Leslie. You can hear me now. Thank you, Lynn. Awesome. Hi, Monica. Hello, Leanne. Is it Leanne or Leanne? Which way have I got it? Am I saying it correct? Leanne? All right. So I'm going to show you some new stuff today. So we'll get started pretty quick. I'm playing with a new scrapbooking workshop kit, but also going to show you some new products in the catalogue that support that kit. So Leanne. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm sorry. It's because it's not the normal spelling that I'm familiar with. That's why. So how are you, Roz? How is Florida today? How is it? We have this. This went live this morning. Well, when I say this morning, at midnight. So as soon as I had my my newsletters scheduled to go out just after midnight so that everyone would know the catalogue was now live. And when I got up this morning, I could see that it had sent out to lots of people, and lots of people had already Jindera. Okay. All right. Thank you, Deborah. Goodness me, we've got to write it all out on because we can't actually hear each other and talk to each other. So so we've got to text it and try and work out how to pronounce different things. Names, place names, all that kind of stuff. It's 22 today. Beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. 72 Fahrenheit. Yes, gorgeous. It was rainy and overcast today, Roz says, and lots of rain for the past 2 weeks. Roz, I don't know whether Florida is similar, but the rain we've had here in Australia this year has been insane. Okay, we had, I think they said there was 5 days in August without rain, and every other day there was rain, and it's been pretty crazy. So to have a few beautiful days of sunshine is just beautiful. It's gorgeous. All right. Let's switch over to the desk and have a look at what we're doing. So this is the new catalogue. This went live this morning. But just so you know, if you're visiting the online store, don't just look at the new catalogue products, because we also have a whole bunch of things that are in the online exclusives. So those are extra things, beautiful things that are not actually in the catalogue. They're not second rate or B products. They're just as lovely, and you will find them in the online store. So I hope that helps. Hello, Marty. Nice to have you with us. Oh, of course. It was Labor Day, wasn't it? That's right. Well, lovely to have you with us, and I'm so glad that you were able to make it today. And the chemo went okay, I hope, because that's yucky. It's yucky. All right. So now that the new catalogue has released, guess what I'm allowed to do? I'm allowed to show you the inside. Hooray! All right. So here on page 10 and 11, we have the Peaceful Days scrapbooking kit, and this is the one I'm using today, Peaceful Days. So we're going to go through this in a moment. It shows you the 6 layouts or 3 double layouts that this makes, and I'm going to be using, I'm thinking today, the one that's caught my eye today, I quite like these two as well, but I like this one, and I think this is the one I'm probably going to go to today. So I think, yeah, we do wish Marty lots of hugs. Always hugs here for you, Marty. Always, always. Oh, I bet it's warm. Darwin is probably like everyone else's summer right now. How hot is it in Darwin today, Lynn? And I hope you have good air conditioning where you live. That's all I can say. All right. So then further on at page 32, we have the Peaceful Garden Suite. And I'm going to show you that as well, because these products, these colors in the Peaceful Days suite are the same colors that are in the Peaceful Garden suite. Okay. Now, most of the time, the suites take their names from the DSP in the suite as it does here. So this is the Peaceful Garden DSP. There are 12 sheets. It's 12 by 12 paper, and they are double-sided. So you get 2 of each design. So there's 6 different designs. This is the front and the back, and there's 2 each of those. Okay. This is one of my favorite suites, and we actually got a little bit lucky because we have a demonstrator event. So it's a demonstrator only thing that happens in June each year that Stampin' Up puts on for us. It's online on our laptops or whatever device you're using. And this set, the Peaceful Garden Suite, was available to those people who were registered for that event, and we could buy it early to actually be part of it. So I've actually had this for several months, been busting to use it because it's just beautiful. It should be 33 today. Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it? And it's the first week of spring. So just imagine how hot it's going to get in summer, right? Oh, thank you. Thanks, Marty. All right, so there's some beautiful, beautiful samples here on page 32 that you can look through. You might have seen me playing with this set yesterday on my Technique Tuesday video. But there's also a stamp set called Peace on Earth, which is just some greetings. It is not just Christmas. We have Peace on Earth and Peace, Love and Joy, which sound a bit Christmassy, but then we've got big hugs, deepest sympathy, heartfelt prayers, sending and wishing you all the best in your new adventure. Love. And so this is not a Christmas set as such. It can be used a little bit for Christmas because we've got those kind of 2 Christmassy, wintry sounding things. When I say winter, it's summer for Christmas here, but you know what I mean. Why did I say winter? They don't sound winter. They just sound Christmassy. All right. I don't know why I said that. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Appreciate the sharing. That's awesome. We've had this conversation before about Southwestern Michigan, haven't we? Because my husband's family are from Manistee on Lake Michigan. So that's probably, I'm guessing that's going to be north of where you are. Am I correct? And then there's these beautiful dies. I've got 2 label dies, one smaller than the other, and 2 doves. Yesterday, I got educated on my video yesterday. I was wondering what the little tiny dies were that were next to it. And it turns out they are envelopes, little tiny envelopes that you can put in the dove's mouth. So those are cute. Then we also have some leaves. We have some, now this is gorgeous. Let me show this to you. This is glitter paper or glimmer paper. Do we call it? Yeah, glimmer paper. And it comes in, it says in here, where is the glimmer paper? It just says blue, soft green, and dark gray. I'm going to tell you what I think they are in Stampin' Up colors, even though Stampin' Up haven't actually said that they are specifically these. But this looks like cloud cover to me. It's like it says soft green, but it's got a bit of a bluish tone to it, or bluey gray. So to me, it looks like cloud cover, and it would certainly coordinate with cloud cover. This looks like blueberry bushel, this one. Not quite as dark maybe, and that's why they're calling it just blue, but it looks like blueberry bushel. And this one looks like Secret Sea, okay? And they're calling that dark gray, but definitely got a Secret Sea kind of a feel to it, right? So if you wanted to match the blue, soft green, and dark gray with other things that we have, those are the colors that I'd be matching them with. And they go beautifully with the paper, which has got those colors in it. The soft sea foam, sorry, it's not soft sea foam. Secret Sea, I get those 2 mixed up all the time. Secret Sea cloud cover, and it's got Misty Moonlight in it as well. But these papers go beautifully with that. Also in here, we have these. I showed these yesterday. These are called Hues of Blue Flowers, but depending on how you use them, got like little pointy ends on the ends of the flowers. So they can look like snowflakes. So if you wanted to use them in a snowflakey kind of a card, you can get away with that, even though that they are supposedly flowers. And so we have Secret Sea, Misty Moonlight, cloud cover, and white. Okay, and the white are very handy. I haven't used them yet, but I'm planning on making good use of those. Then there's this beautiful ribbon, and I've got that here as well. This ribbon is Crumpet's favorite at the moment. He sees this and he wants to run around the house with it, and I will find it up and down the hallway, up and down, up and down, up and down. And it is very soft and shiny. He likes shiny ribbons, and it's got like little silver loops on the edges. Really, really pretty. So this goes really nicely with the Misty Moonlight, don't you think? Well, this does say it's Misty Moonlight. So it's Misty Moonlight ribbon, Misty Moonlight and silver edged ribbon. In Australia, it's 9.1 meters for $17.50 for this ribbon. Okay, it's really pretty. You weren't interested in the Peaceful Garden Suite, but now you've had a closer look. It's on your wish list. Look, I'm so glad they use this for the Creativity Now event, because it meant that some of us got it early, and I have loved every single card I've made with it. Just love it. It's so beautiful. So I've had, like, for example, just a little tiny weenie card that I posted yesterday, I think, with the paper and just a little bit of glimmer down the side, peace, love, and joy across, some embellishments just on a piece of cloud cover. So just a simple little card, but I thought it turned out really nice. So this is using the paper, this piece of paper. So let's open up our scrapbook workshop kit. I'm actually not even sure which photos I'm using today. I've pulled some out, and I'm going to get you guys to help me choose which ones would look good. Now, let's pull everything out of here. And so, like I said, this stuff is the companion stuff to what's in the catalogue. There is something else I wanted to draw your attention to, though. All right, so here on page 10 and 11, where the Peaceful Days stuff is, okay, if you turn the page, no, went the wrong way. Oh, no. Which way was it? Oh, no. What have I done? So there is another stamp set, and I'm just trying to find where it is. Oh, dear. I might have to look it up, because there's another stamp set that's available that coordinates with this. It's called Peaceful Days, and let me see if I can find it. Is it in here? Yeah, page 47. Here we go. So it's kind of all on its own. Oh, okay. So it is on this page. All right. So this one here is this is like an extra samples and extra bits and pieces about the kit. All right, this is what's in the kit. And here's the thing: when you get your instruction sheet, it tells you what materials you need and what size photos you need, depending on which layout you're doing. That is really, really helpful. Hey, Margaret, nice to see you. I know, isn't it cool? It's really nice, the scrapbooking kit, Marty. It's terrific. Yeah, it's such a great, and I love the way these colors coordinate together. And these colors work really well for a lot of different types of photos. So outdoors photos that have got, greens and blues in them, sky and forests and things like that. But also like snow. If you've got any snow photos, those are going to look really good. And photos of like architecture and stuff like that. So really very excellent for all kinds of different photos, but a lot of outdoors kind of stuff in my mind. So what's in the kit? Okay, so this coordinates with the kit, this Peaceful Days set. It doesn't come with the kit. It's an extra. It is $35 here in Australia, and it has like a little file tab that you can use. This is really cute, actually, on like behind a photo or behind a layer. We've got our bird, which you guys have seen me use a couple of times. We've got some nice sentiments that would look really great on a scrapbook page, such as "These are the good days" and "My happy place is wherever I'm with you." We've got some little flowers. We've got a lovely flourish and some leaves, okay, and some little tiny stars. This is a great set. All right, so you can make cards with it, but it looks really good for scrapbooking stuff. Here are the two-tone cardstock pack, okay? If you're buying the extra pack to have more sheets of paper, this will give you 12 sheets, and there are 2 each of Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, Misty Moonlight, Pecan Pie, Crumb Cake, and White, okay? And the white willow, or white willow is like the color that Close to My Heart used to have. That is not two-tone. But the other 5 sheets are all two-tone. Okay. You do also get 5 sheets in the book, in the pack. So you may not feel that you need to. Everything you need to make the layouts, everything you need to make these layouts is in here. These extra things I'm telling you about are only if you want to add additional things. But this does tell you what you need. You need the Peaceful Days scrapbooking kit, and then seal, dimensionals, paper trimmer, multi-purpose liquid glue or Tombow, and then optional, you can use the Peaceful Greenery 3D embossing folder. Now that's part of this suite as well. Okay, that is part of the Peaceful Garden suite. I love this. It's such a nice one. So you can use the labels from the dies in the middle, and it looks terrific. I'm just letting you know, I have used this particular folder in my Zoom cards this month. So I have a Zoom class coming up with the branching out dies, and the branching out bundle. That's coming up on the 24th of September. If you'd like to do the Zoom class with me, all you need to have is the branching out bundle. Okay, so you can either purchase the class, which is $15 Australian, or if you already have the branching out bundle, or if you want to buy the branching out bundle from me, you automatically qualify. And if you're a team member, you automatically qualify as well. Okay, so this is just so you guys know, this is the embossing folder that is in the Peaceful Garden Suite. However, I am also using it in the Zoom class. If you don't have it, you can substitute it with another folder. You don't have to have this folder. All right. Okay. Then we start talking. Oh, and the other optional thing is a cut and emboss machine, because if you're going to use the 3D embossing folder, you're going to need the cut and emboss machine for that. Okay, so it tells you these things are optional. You don't have to have them, but these are the things you will need. So basically the kit and adhesives and a paper trimmer. That's what you need. You can see using this for an album with, oh, really? Okay. Plans to organize photos and put them in albums. Oh, okay. You died in February 2017 and you never did it. That'll be a lovely, lovely thing to do, Marty. And, it'd be lovely to relive some of those memories and honor them that way. So I think good on you for doing that. That's fantastic. I do see scrapbooking as a way of honoring memories that we have. And sometimes they're such precious memories, and we want to remember them, even when it's sometimes a little painful to do so. It's still a beautiful way of, they happened. That's how they are, and we want to give them, we want to honor them the best we can. So I feel that scrapbooking is a really great way to do that. All right, so the one I'm leaning towards is this one, which is layout number 2, and there's a left and a right-hand page. Okay, I'm not sure if we'll do both today, but we'll definitely do one, and I've just got to decide which one I'm going to do. So this one has 3 photos. Let me bring it up a little closer. This one has 3 photos. Let's see if you can see that. It's just waiting for it to refocus because it's a little bit blurry. Come on, you can do it. Come on, camera. It wants to be blurry. Well, anyway, hopefully you can see now it's better. There you go. 3 photos on this one. Okay. And there are 3 photos on this one. Okay. Now, when I come over here, it tells me what photos am I going to need. And this is project 2 we're talking about. Okay. So let's come across. It says there's 1, and the L means it's landscape. 1 landscape photo, 3 inches by 4 inches. And yes, when we do scrapbooking, we are mostly working in inches because pages are 12 inches by 12 inches. So it just makes sense to stick with that, okay? Then there are 3 photos that are 4 inches by 4 inches, and 2 photos, portrait, that are 4 by 6. Okay, now you can change this orientation if you want to. It's very easy to do, but this is really helpful. So on this one, I've got 3 4x4s, okay? And on this one, I've got 2 4x6s and 1 3x4. Okay, so that is how these photos have been organized on this page. So let me show you the photos I've pulled out, and you guys are going to help me choose. Okay. Oh, really? I know they're really nice, the sentiments in the stamp set, aren't they? They're really beautiful. And I'm talking about the scrapbooking one, even though I love both of them. The scrapbooking one is just lovely. So I've got 3 more Alaska photos, and you guys might remember I did some Alaska photos recently. These are quite nice. And I have, but they are 2 landscape 4x6s, and then this one could be cut into a smaller, like a 4x4 or something like that. I could do that. Then I've also got, and don't forget, I'm only doing 1 page. I'm actually thinking I'm going to do 1 page, and then if we have time, I will do maybe a card with this set. So we'll see. So now I have a picture of my husband at the Red Lion in Southampton. We went there. We were wandering. We got stuck in Southampton for a day, or actually 2 nights, I think, because the friends we were meant to be staying with at the end of the Norway trip actually came down with COVID just before we got off the cruise. So that meant we couldn't stay with them. And so we had to find somewhere to go and stay. So we ended up, instead of staying with our friends and then going to London, we stayed in Southampton for a couple of extra nights. So thank you. Thank you so much. So this is him enjoying a beer at the Red Lion Hotel. Now, the Red Lion Hotel is, I will describe it as old and ramshackle. Okay, ramshackle might be, maybe that's not fair and not completely fair. And if you know the Red Lion in Southampton, you might know what I'm talking about. The this is also inside the Red Lion. Okay, and then this is a little blurb that I took a photo of about the Red Lion. Okay, so it, as it says, the most attractive part of the inn's interior decor is the fine timbered apartment known as Henry V's courtroom. This was used for the trial of Richard, Earl of Cambridge, and all this history, right? All of him conspired against the life of the crown of Henry V in 1415, immediately prior to Henry's. I mean, these kind of numbers in history, just my brain cannot compute. I live in a country that is, just over 200 years old. So to have centuries and centuries of history attached to a building is crazy. And I don't know if you can see this, but like like you've got all the beams in the ceiling and stuff, but nothing was straight. And like when you walk up the stairs, you had to hold on to the railing because the stairs were so crooked and so angled that it's just crazy, right? Such crazy. It's just crazy. So so there's those three. Okay, and I can't cut this one down. This one can't be cut down, but this one maybe could be cut down, and I could cut down this one of my husband and just have the top of his beard. But it does have the Red Lion down here, and that's kind of important. And, we've got the Red Lion menu down there. So that's a maybe, those three. Then I've got some pictures here of Earl's Court when we stayed in London. And we went out for dinner at an Italian restaurant, and I could certainly cut this one down. Don't need to have all that. I could cut that down to a 4x4 or even smaller. My husband had the world's biggest calzone, absolutely the biggest calzone I've ever seen in my life. And, it arrived and we had to take a photo because that's just crazy, right? And then we have, this was at, was it called the Earl's Court Hotel? I am not sure, but this is the hotel across the road from the train station. And we had pork pie and mash, and felt very British eating that way in a British hotel. And then also outside Earl's Court train station is the TARDIS. For any of you who are Doctor Who fans, this is the TARDIS right outside the train station. So I've got a few photos so these are quite cool, and I could cut down a couple of them. So if I was going to do, so this one's they've each got 3. So this one has 4. I can cut this one down. That one I feel can't be cut down. This one could be cut down, although I have another similar photo actually. So those, but then this one probably, maybe that one's the odd one out, and I could do these 3. So the questions are, am I going to do the Earl's Court photos, these ones? Am I going to do what hotel in Earl's Court? I don't remember. We stayed in like a hostel kind of a place. We're trying to save some money. But yeah, I don't remember. I could look it up on the map. That's what I should do. I should look it up on that. I know the Italian restaurant because I did look that up on the map earlier. It's called La Papadella, I think. Hang on a second. I'll just tell you because it's still on my screen. Yeah, La Papadella. And that had the most fantastic Italian food and really, really reasonable. So that was a nice night out. In fact, that Italian meal was our last night before we flew home. So whereas I think this was our first night we're in Earl's Court. So they're different nights, but it's eating out in Earl's Court. So I've got some Alaska photos, which would look good with these. I've got my Red Lion photos from Southampton, and I've got my eating in Earl's Court photos. What do you guys think? Which ones? A barrel ceiling made of brick. I think maybe so. I can see. I'm just looking. Well, I'm looking at a photo of it right now, and the walls are made of brick, and maybe because up the top there's like an arched. I'll have to send you a photo of it, Marty, but I can do that after our video. So that might be the one. All right. So which photos should I use, you guys? Red Lion? No, sorry. Red Lion, Eating in Earl's Court or Alaska photos? What do you think? Somebody tell me which ones. I don't know. All right, so this one's got, if I was to do this one, they're 3 cut down to 4x4s. This one has 2 4x6s and a small. So this one here is going to work better for my photos if I don't want to cut these down. And that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm going to go with these photos because no one's told me which ones to use. So I'm just going to go with these. I can't see that anyone has commented on that. All right. I hope everyone's happy with that. I think you'll be happy anyway. All right, let's see what paper's in the pack. So there are 9 sheets, I believe. So you can see that we've got like, these are lovely. So these are the, let's start with the DSP. We've got 2 sheets of this one. It's got crumb cake on one side, and then we've got our doves on the other. It's really, really pretty. I love this paper. I don't know what it is about this paper I love so much, but I just love it. I love the combination of blues. I think that's what it is. And they look like hydrangeas, don't they? Aren't they gorgeous? And then on the back, we've got Secret Sea and some little stars. You've been there, Marty. How fun is that we ate at the same place? Earl's Court, says Helen. Okay, good. That's what I chose. And then I've got the white ones here with the misty moonlight leaves. That's really cool. And there's a little bit of cloud cover in the back as well. Can you see like cloud cover dots? And on the back of that, oh, isn't that nice? Look at that. Yeah, I love that DSP, Roz. It's fantastic. And then what do we have here? This one. This is actually a specialty. Now, it's a bit hard to see, but there is actually, oh, you can see it under the light. There's like a speckle, Secret Sea with a speckle through it. It's very dark, but kind of like a polished piece. I rather like it, but it's single-sided. Now, what that means is when there's single-sided paper in here, it means that it's specialty paper to the kit and it is not found in the DSP pack. So this paper is not found anywhere else other than the kit. And then this one, same again. It's a single-sided piece and it's got this beautiful, love this. Look at that speckled paper. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. All right, then we've got our two-tone paper. So we've got Lost Lagoon. Can you see it's darker on one side than the other? It's harder to see that, I think. Pecan Pie, that one's more obvious. Definitely a lot lighter on one side than the other. Whereas actually, is it Lost Lagoon or Cloud? No, it was Cloud Cover. I said Lost Lagoon. I'm sorry. It's not Lost Lagoon. It's Cloud Cover. And then there's Crumb Cake. More Crumb Cake and more. Obviously, they're using a bit of that. And then we get down to our die cuts. And die cuts and stickers, I think we have both. Yes, we do. So there's 2 sheets of die cuts. Aren't they nice? There's little, these would be good for Alaska photos, some little pine trees like this, or Christmas cards. And then we've got, you know, this Good Times is lovely. How have they used that? Let me look at the instruction sheet. They've used it on this piece here where they cut these down to 4x4s. Really, really like that. I'm going to do some other London photos. After I've done my Eating in Earl's Court, I'm going to do some other London photos on the other page. So that I'll pick some that can be cut down easily to 4x4. But these are really nice. And Good Times would go really, really well with my Eating in Earl's Court photos because we did have really good times. All right, then we have some photo placeholders. I'll get to the stickers last. So we've got our 3x4s, our 4x4s, and our 6x4s. And some 3x3s. Look at that. There we go. So they're all the different sized photo placeholders. Photo placeholders are great. So if you don't have your photos ready to go, you can use the photo placeholders, still make the scrapbook pages, and Bob's your uncle. It's great. You just add the photos later. So it's terrific. You can also use them as mats behind a photo if you want to cut your photo down slightly. So there's a couple of things you can do with them. All right. So these are stickers. So these are going to go quick and easy because they are sticky. Okay. So I like this half circle here with the, looks like, I don't know, that looks quite wintry, doesn't it? And then we've got some more here in other colors, some file tabs. Aren't they cool? Love them to put behind photos or behind layers. And then we've got some hearts, some happy days. Love it. It's a fantastic kit. Really, really good. So who missed this one in the catalogue? Who never saw it? And then now you're thinking to yourself, gee, I wish I saw that. It's not too late, guys. We've got a whole 4 months of crafty goodness with this catalogue. All right, so let me have a little look at my instructions. So we've got our photos. I've picked out 3. And so this one says 4x6, and this 2 4x6s and 1 3x4. So I'm going to have those 2. And then this one, I'm going to cut that one down to 3x4. So it's already 4 across, but I'm going to cut it at the halfway mark here, and it'll be 3 inches here. So I'm going to do that. And I've got my trimmer. Now, something I do want to show you, I'm going to cut that. All right. All right, I do want to show you something very quickly as we're starting here. I have a real love, I've decided this really lately, of a block with multiple photos on it. So can you see here, this is like a big block. There's a big block here of this crumb cake paper, and they've put multiple photos on. Okay, this one, there's a big block and multiple photos on. This one, again, there's a smaller block, but it's got a couple of photos. So I really love that look, rather than the photos necessarily being all separate. I do like that too, but I love this look. And we did do it in our scrapbooking retreat. And some of you may know I did this recently. And I'm just going to show you. There's a couple of pages in here. Look, there he is eating again. He's often doing that. See this one. This is an example of, see how it's a big block and it's got multiple photos on it. I love that look. Isn't that great? Would you be able to print the photos smaller and then use the whole photo? Yes, of course. Of course you could. But I have no problems with cutting photos down, especially if I'm cutting part of the photo out that doesn't have, like, you know, do I really need a lot of pasta in my photo? Not really, okay? Like, quite often I'll look at a photo and think, I really don't need all that. Or maybe there's something, you know, a person in my photo, at the edge of my photo, that I don't know, and I would like to cut them out. For example, this one, I could cut this lady out if I wanted to, and I could also cut out the ground here. There's no need for it, and I could probably cut a bit off the top. So that would quite easily translate to a 4x4 photo or even less, okay? So I have no need for this lady. I don't know who she is. So, you know, there's lots of reasons why you might want to cut a photo down, not just to make room for the, not just to make room, but also sometimes there are things in your photos that they don't add anything to your details. Okay, so let's turn over, and now we get to the cutting instructions, and let's read what it says here. So I haven't opened this kit until today. This is the first time I've opened it. And that's what I love about it, that you can just start with a kit and end up with something, you know, in under an hour. So gather all the materials. Check. Check the cut orientation below each cutting diagram. This will show you how to cut the paper, keeping the patterns on your project pieces facing the right direction. That's really important, okay? So down here where it says cut orientation, it shows you which way they should go. Now, with this example, the flowers in this paper all are going up the same direction, okay? So can you see they are all facing up? So we would want to get, so you don't want this one to be sideways, for example. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world, I suppose, but I think they look much better going up. And so this is showing you, this is the cut orientation. So when you have this on the front and this on the back, they want you to cut this down, okay? Now, there is a bit of an issue here with cutting from corner to corner on a DSP sheet. And that is because if you try and do it in your trimmer, it doesn't work, because when you go 12 by 12, it goes off the edge of the trimmer, okay? It's too long. This way is fine, but if we're going diagonally, so this we actually would have to do by hand. So I would suggest getting a ruler. Let me just see if I've got a ruler handy. Even though I didn't, I wonder what happened to that card. I just found this card I've been looking for. There's another card using that set. So let me grab my ruler. So find yourself a ruler, and you can see, even though the ruler is 12 inches, it's not going to go from one end to the other because it just doesn't go that far. Now, what's nice about this paper Well, actually, no, it doesn't work. I was going to say what's nice is that the stars are in rows, but actually they're not quite in rows. So this star here that starts in this corner, if you follow that all the way through, it actually doesn't go all the way to the corner. So that's not going to help you. So it's shown me that the cut orientation needs to be from here to here. So my suggestion is there's a couple of things you can do. You can put this in your trimmer, so it's 6 inches here, and then I'm going to grab a pencil. I do have a pencil here, so just give me a moment while I grab it. Okay, and it's going to come down to 6 inches on here. Now I only have my metric blade in. It doesn't have, but 6 inches is, let me double check, 15.2 or 15.2 and a half, really. So if I come down here to 15 point, and it's going to be right there in the middle. So that's right about the middle line. Trying to make a mark big enough to see. All right. And I can always rub that out later if I want to. All right. So now when I go ahead, that needs to go through the middle. So where did I just make that mark? There it is. And I'm going to go from the corner to that mark. And because we're using a pencil, we can rub it out later if we mess it up, okay? And then that mark to the corner. Okay, so now I have a line that I can follow to cut. So you can't cut it with your trimmer unless you have a really big trimmer, okay? You always cut your paper with a craft knife on the self-healing mat. You can do that here too. You could use a ruler and put it up against the ruler and cut with the craft knife. That would actually work really well. Hey, Jolene, how are you going? Nice to see you. All right, so I'm just going to cut that. Oh, I'm making sure I'm cutting it right. Yep, front orientation with this going up. Back is this, correct? And we're going from top to bottom, and that gives us 2A and 2E, okay? So that is the one that I want. So because we're doing project 2, right? So let me just go ahead. I'm going to use my paper snips and cut right along that line. And if you want to go back and cut and erase the line later, you can. That's up to you. So who's excited? Who's placed an order already this morning? Who's excited about the new catalog? I'm excited. Something I do need to tell you guys while I'm cutting, I can do this, is that I'm celebrating my 19th anniversary, or stampiversary, if you like, with Stampin' Up! This weekend on Sunday, actually, the 7th. And so I'm celebrating this week. If you are ordering with me, if you order over $125 worth of product, you also get sent out by me a pack of embellishments. So you can look forward to receiving those if you've placed an order with me over that amount. That started on the 19th of last month and goes through until this Sunday, the 7th of September. Okay, so that's what that's all about. All right, let's look at our instructions and see how we went. Okay, now I've got this piece here. Excellent. So that's 2E, and then this one is 2A. Okay, then looking here, there is actually here, there's 2C. So that's going to be part of this as well. Let me quickly look back at the instructions, at the photos, and see where that's going to be. Okay, I see. All right. So this way, I'm going to grab the other piece of paper in case I decide to. All right. So this one, it's got like there's there's a 2F, there's a 3I, 2C, 2H, and so forth. So you can cut these pieces from this. Now this time, this one is on the front, so we're cutting this way. Okay, and this is on the back. Okay, once again, the orientation is this way, facing up. So I'm going to have a 1.5 by a 11.5. I'm not going to go ahead and cut all the others because I'm only doing this page. So I'm just going to do this one. So 1.5. I'm cutting the one that has the number 2 in it. 1.5 by 11.5. So I'm just going to cut 1/2 inch off because that's going to be 11.5. All right, so there's that. Set that to one side. Over here, I've got a 2C, which is 1.5 by 5.5. So there's a couple that are 1.5. So that makes it easy. And then it says 5.5. So I'm going to turn this way and cut it to 5.5. And 1. That seems like a little piece. Don't want to lose that one, do I? Set that aside right there so I can be careful. All right, so that's this paper cut up, okay? Turn to the next page. Now this one, I've got a crumb cake piece, so find that piece, which is this one right here. And it's got front and back, okay? So the back is the doves. Now, does it matter which way they go? Yeah, it does actually. You want them that way. So, okay, so this needs to stay like that. And 2G, 8.5 by 10.5. So I'm going to open up my piece here and I'm going to go 8.5. And this is the block piece that's going to go behind my photos. Okay, 8.5 by 10.5. So I'm going to make this 10.5. Okay, that's done. Let's see, what else do we have? Nothing else here. 2B, once again, same orientation. So I'm going to get the other piece and I'm going to turn it over like it says, front. Okay, 2B, 8.5 by 8.5. Now, actually, I'm looking, this is actually for the second page. So some of these are for the second page. And let me have a quick look back at my photos. All right, so this one here, if this is the one I'm doing today, and I think it is the taller of the two. This one is the 8.5 by 8.5. It's a square. So I'm not going to worry about doing that one right now because I'm not doing that page with you. I'm doing the other page. So let's not worry about that one. Let's see, what else do we have? There's a 2D with this one here on the front. So you're going through and you're looking for the number 2. And it's very easy to do, 3/4 by 5. So this one is going to be 3/4. You can also, if you don't like following measurements like this, you can also just copy the pictures. You can do that too if you feel more comfortable. And I think some people do. All right, no more 2s on there. Nope. And let's see, what have we got here? We've got some crumb cake 2-tone cardstock. Do we want any of that? Not on that one. There's no 2s. This one? Nope, no 2s. That's pecan pie. Okay, so we have pecan pie and crumb cake. I don't know if I said that before. You always cut paper with a craft knife? Yeah, okay. I know, right? All right, so then we turn to, this is number 1. So now we find number 2. Here it is. And this is not the one I'm doing. I'm going to do this one. So it says, to assemble, use exclusive secret C as your base page. Now, the exclusive is the one that's single-sided, remember? So that's the one that had the secret C kind of splatter design on it. This one, very dark. Okay, so that's going to be our base page. And just double check back over here. It said adhere photos on 2B and 2G. 2B and 2G. Where are 2B and 2G? Let me see. Oh, Crumpet's crying at the door because I locked him down the bottom of the hallway. Because he kept jumping up here today, and I know that's mean. I feel terrible. Such a bad mummy, but yeah. Anywho. All right, so this is going to go on here like this. And that straight away, how good does that look immediately, right? Right, so use exclusive secret C paper for your base. Adhere 2E to the base page. Now 2E is this big one, okay? And we know that that's got 2E there, and also set it back on the cutting guide as well that it was 2E. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. You can use seal, you can use snail, you can use whatever glue, snail, Tombow, or whatever glue you would like to use. I guess if you do have snail, you could use that, but most people don't have that anymore because we got rid of that years ago, and I don't know why I keep saying it because I'm a creature of habit. That's what it is. All right, I'm going to pop this down. So once we've done the prep, the putting together, the assembly is really fast. It's really quick. It does not take very long at all. Okay, so there we go. We've got 2E to the base page. Prepared, adhere, prepared 2F, 2G, and prepared 2H. Okay, so when they say prepared, okay, so I've got 2H here, and that was the little tiny piece that I cut up. Let's see, let's go back. 2H. So it was this one, okay? Tiny, tiny. So when they say prepared, can you see that they've flagged it? So that's what they're asking me to do. So I'm going to flag the edge on that. And I'm going to do it by just snipping in here. And then snipping the edges from the corner down to the bottom of mine. So this is the preparation they're talking about. So I'm going to pop that there. Sometimes there's die cuts or stickers for this kind of stuff as well. All right, so there's that. That's prepared now. 2F and, all right, so down here is where it tells me what everything is. So that's the 2H. 2F is this piece here. There's another piece of that. All right, so 2F is this one, the 1.5 by 11.5. So the longer one, this one right here. And that one is flagged on both ends as well. So I can see from the photo there that it's flagged on both ends. So let's cut that in. Let's flag it. I do love the fact that I can just pull out a scrapbooking kit and follow the instructions and end up with a beautiful page without having to do too much thinking. But I still get to enjoy the process. And I love that. All right, so there's that. That one. Now, the last one it said was 2G. So 2G is this one here. Let me find it. 2G is this big one, 8.5 by 10. Okay, so it says to adhere the prepared 2F and 2G and prepared 2H. Okay, so that is this. Let's make sure I'm putting this in the right place. Now, this will tell me where to put it. Okay, so 2G is this one here, and it's saying 1 7/8 or close to 2 inches from this edge. So that's about right. And you can also see it kind of forms that shape here with this. So that's exactly right, actually. So that's going to go on there. And then also this little flag bit and this little flag bit. So these have got to go in underneath. Okay, so that has to go about here. And then this is going to go about there. So you've got a little bit of this one sticking out the top and a little bit of that one sticking out at the bottom. I hope you can see that. It's a bit hard to see, I know. I might just scroll out ever so, might lift my camera slightly so we can see a little bit more of the desk. It's hard, I know. Right, try not to make everyone seasick while I do this. All right, how's that? Slightly better? All right, so this piece is going to go right about here, and it tells me on here how far away from the edge that should be. All right, so this one here, 2F, it's telling me that is 4 inches from here to here. So if you have a ruler, you don't have to have one, but you can kind of guesstimate. That's going to be right there. I've almost got it in the perfect place. So about 4 inches from the edge, right? So this is where this instruction piece that shows you the placement of everything, how far from edges and things like this. Like this edge is 1 3/4 to here. Oh, I see. 1 3/4 to here and 1 7/8 to the photo. So that's actually showing me that as well. So let me put some glue on the back of this. Doesn't matter what glue. Tombow, seal, whatever you would like. Seal's faster. So for something like this, when I'm doing a video, if I was doing it, I might not necessarily. All right, let's see. That's about right. Okay. And then this piece, and I'll just double check my placement. One 3/4. So right about there is correct. All right. How are we doing? Making sense what we're doing? Everyone's gone very quiet. Goodness me, have I scared everybody? I hope not. All right, I think that's, oh, is it a little bit crooked? Is it a bit crooked? Is it maybe the tiniest bit? But I've already stuck it down. You know what? I'm just going to go with it. It's fine. All right. So let's look at this again. So we've got the 2H adhere those. Well, I'm not quite ready. I want to see where my photo is going to go before I do that. That's going to go about here. That's where that's going to end up. But I'd like to put my pieces on first. So adhere journaling pre-cut piece, okay? And that says the best part. So I'm assuming that that is in my die cut. So let me see if I can find it. I don't believe it's a sticker, but I could be wrong. Yeah, here it is, the best part. All right, so let's, it is a, oh no, it's not a sticker, it's a die cut. For a second, I thought it was a sticker. So these just lift out, or they should just lift out. And if you need to snip any of the edges off with a pair of scissors, like if any of them are a little bit rough, you can, but that's not too bad. All right, so this is going to end up kind of roughly here. It's kind of where that's going to go. I might need to move it over a little bit, probably, yeah, maybe about there. But I haven't stuck it down yet, so I'm not committed. All right, so you can see it here, the best part, and then you can journal on this block, which would look really good. And then we've got, I've got 2 4x6s. So this is going to go here. Which one will I have? This one here. I actually think I might switch those around and pop that here. See how good it suddenly comes together? It looks so good when you stick them all down and get it in the right place. And then this is going to go in behind that. And then we've got the other one. This one here is going to go down the bottom here. All right. So that's, and we should have, if this goes well, we should have the same amount of distance here as here. Doesn't it look good straight away? You're watching intently. That's what it is. Oh, good, good. That's why everyone's gone quiet. All right, so it tells me here to adhere the journaling pre-cut piece. I think putting your photos into place, even if you don't stick them down yet, is the best idea, because then you can make sure that your journaling is in the right place. I want to have a similar distance or a similar gap between all my bits and pieces. So I am actually going to, and see on the back it says project 2. So that's the other thing, and I will mention this. On the back of all the die cut pieces, it tells you which project they are for. Okay, so if you're looking at the back of this because you think you're missing something, I've got a project 2, project 2, project 2, project 2. I've got a project 2. Now, don't forget there are 2 projects or 2 layouts in the project. So some of these are for the other layout and some of them are for this one. But we'll get to that in a moment. But I think that's a helpful thing. So it says to glue this down. So I'm going to do that, but I'm doing it with my photos in place so I know that I'm putting it in the right spot. To me, this is the kind of scrapbooking, if you want to do a lot of pages very quickly, I'm standing up to get this right, by the way. If you want to get a lot of photos quickly and, you know, like Project Life was something that we did because it meant we could scrapbook quickly. And I find this very similar. And now I'm going to put this one in place because once again, we have our journaling piece. And so that can just quickly pop in just behind there. All right, there we go. So we have that. Embellish with pre-cut pieces and stickers as shown, and use multi-purpose liquid glue on the pre-cut sprigs and Stampin' Dimensionals on some of the pieces indicated by the drop shadows. Add journaling. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put my photos down. So this piece goes here. Aren't these fun? And I love how quickly it comes together. And it works really well with the crumb cake. The colors in the bricks and everything go really, really well with the crumb cake. So Marty, that's that La Papadella restaurant has that lovely brickwork on all the walls. And then there's, yeah, like a curved ceiling, which is really nice. And I thought that goes really well with the crumb cake. And then this one is going to go here. This was my dinner. So my husband had the calzone, and I had the I think it was a bosciola or carbonara. I'm not sure. Maybe a carbonara with mushrooms. And I love mushrooms, but my husband does not. So whenever I don't usually cook them very often, but when we go out to dinner, I will order them because it's my chance, right? It's coming together really nice, isn't it? Doesn't it look good? All right, so let's have a look. It says you put your journaling piece in. Well, I've still got to write on that. And I find when you add the journaling, that's when it really looks like it's come together. That's, for me, the photos are the first step, but the journaling is what does it. And then embellish with pre-cut pieces and stickers as shown. Okay, so they've got a dove here with a leaf. So let's have a little look at that. So let me see. Okay, I've got a die-cut dove. And I think a die-cut dove would be nice on dimensionals, actually. So I'm just going to pull this out of the paper here, and that's going to go over this corner. And then pre-cut pieces and stickers as shown. Okay, there's also I'm wondering if that's the right piece. It says project 2. Yeah. So you can also check as you're pulling them out. Check on the back to see that it says project 2. Okay, so this should say project 3. I picked the wrong dove, but they're the same. So there's actually project 3 doves and project 2 doves. Actually, did I do that? I think that one, that says project 2. This one goes the other way. I like this orientation better. All right, so that one there, and that dove is going to go here. Okay, and I'll probably put the dove on dimensionals and then stick the leaf down. Actually, did I pick the right one? It says it's the right one, so that'll do. All right, so there's that. And then what else have we got on here? So we have these little flowers, and so the flowers, I believe, are stickers, I think. Oh, no, the flowers are not stickers, but the leaves are. So these ones here, these are stickers. And those are down here. Don't want to cover up too much of the place setting. So I'm going to pop that there. So it's already stuck down. I'm going to put dimensionals behind here. One and two. Now, when you use dimensionals on a layout, just bear in mind that when it's in an album, you don't want to bulk up too much. The other thing, though, is that you might also want to have a little bit of dimension. Does look good, and it allows you to slide things in underneath, like I'm doing here now. Just looking at these and seeing if there's any more. This says project 2, so I'm grabbing a flower. So that flower is going to go down here, and there's also a leaf coming out from this one. So this one here, like that. So I'm going to put this on with a glue dot. You don't have to use glue dots. You could use any glue here, but I'm just going to use a glue dot because I like glue dots. I think glue dots are the bomb. And then this little guy with a dimensional. Like that. That's cool. We love that. All right, what else have I got? Have I got anything else that's got to be added here? Or have I done it all? Let's look at the, well, there's a nice picture here. We've got this element. We've got our dove. We've got, look how easy that was. It's done. The page is done. I really like it too. So what I would suggest when you get to this point, you want to think about what you want to say. So on this one, I'm probably going to say something like, you know, finishing off our trip with the perfect meal at Earl's Court or something like that. And this was June, early June, trying to think when it was, 2023. Is that right? Yeah, 2023. It was a part of the Norway incentive trip. We flew out from, we flew to Heathrow, and then they shipped us or bussed us down to Southampton. We went on the cruise. We came back to Southampton. That's when we got stuck. And then we went up to London again for about 5 days before we flew back out. So it was our first time. I'd never been to London before, never been to the UK. So that was and never been to Norway either. So that was a real treat. But once I fill this in, it's going to look like a completed page, and we're done. What do you think? Do we like this? Now, really, really quickly, because I said I would, I know I'm over time, but I'm just thinking, let's just do a super fast with some leftover cardstock. What have I got? I've got this piece here. I'm just looking at the pieces that I've just used, and what can I do? Well, this is really nice, this one here. Do I need this sheet for a whole project? Let's see. Oh, I do. This piece is used for this whole project, so I don't want to use that sheet because that's the only one of those. So I will use instead, I've got some leftover pieces here too. Which way will we go, you guys? I think maybe some more of this one, because I have a reasonable amount of this, and I'm not going to need to. There's going to be pieces of that on these two, and that's okay. I've got plenty. I've got enough. This is the wonderful thing about these scrapbooking kits. When you're done, you have more paper left over that you can use for other projects. So I'm actually just going to make a... Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do one of my favorite layouts. This is an easy peasy layout, and I come back to this one all the time because I love the way this goes. And there's nothing wrong with using the same layouts with different products and giving, you know, a different take on an existing layout. So I'm cutting my card front piece from Secret Sea cardstock, and I'm doing it 14.3 by 10, or if you're doing it in the US, you would be 4 by 5.25, I believe. I think that is right. And because I love this paper so much, I'm going to use this one. I just think it's beautiful. It's a favorite. And I'm going to cut it at 6.5 centimeters wide. And I'm going to cut it at 13.8 this way. 13.8. All right. And it's going to go like so. And then we're going to use, I think maybe this piece here. Do you think this piece here? Or this piece here? No, I think the light. The light is really beautiful. That's stunning paper. So let me quickly grab some of that. So this is the one that I'm thinking, because it's got this beautiful like distressed look about it. And for this one, I'm going to cut this to be 2.5 centimeters wide, or an inch if you are in the US. And I'm going to cut that to 13.8 as well. So I just want to show you how beautiful this paper is. So this piece is going to go in that gap. All right, so we're going to glue that down. This will be the world's simplest, simplest anything, really. What have I done with my, here it is, seal. I think that's a bit of a British favourite, isn't it? Isn't that? Pretty sure. Is that a favourite in your house as well, Leslie? Pickled onions while you watch the soccer. Oh, my goodness, yes. All right, so this piece here is going to be my piece that fills in that gap. All right, how beautiful is this coloring? It's gorgeous, right? Now we could use something from the stickers, but I am loth to do so because I want to use the stickers for the other pages. So instead, I'm going to use, maybe I will use one of the Peace on Earth dies because those are gorgeous. And we can have them going this way, maybe the smaller. And I'm wondering, do we have any greetings? Okay, I am going to cut this from the light coloured glimmer paper. And you're probably thinking, what the heck's she doing? I'm just going to, so it'll fit through my cut and emboss machine, I'm going to cut it back to, actually I'm going to turn it over because you'll blunt your blade a little bit faster if you put it right way up. So I always turn my glitter paper over to cut through the other side so as not to blunt my blade. I'm deciding, do I want this one or this one? No, I want the smaller one. And I'm going to cut that piece with my cut and emboss machine. Because this glitter paper, I tell you, is gorgeous. I love all glitter paper. Let's not muck about there, but this is particularly beautiful. Those colours are just gorgeous. All right, so that's going to go there. And then I'm going to use a circle. Do I have any pre-cut circles? Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. That's okay. We can cut one. So I'm going to bring out my size shapes. You could use a punch, whatever you would like to use. I'm just looking there. That's too big. This one might be a better size. That's a better size. And then we can decide what we want to put on it. Some of these need a bigger circle. Peace on Earth will fit, actually. Well, they do all fit, but just except this one down the bottom won't. But these more. Do we want to go Peace on Earth, or do we want to go Big Hugs for a Good Friend? What do you think? Which one will we go? Hey, Maureen, nice to see you there. You can buy them in Broken Hill. Wow. Okay, that's good. Okay, well, I'm going to cut this piece out and you guys can decide what I'm going to stamp on it while I'm gone. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly run that through. Sometimes when I make a circle, I'll do it with 2 pieces of white card because it's quite thin. And normally cardstock, you can cut 2 with a simple shape like a circle. So I will cut 2 like I've just done just now, okay, so that I've got 1 to use for this project and a spare. So now I have 2. So when I cut 1, I cut 2 just to be safe. Big hugs. Everyone's saying big hugs. Okay, well, let's make sure that's going to fit. I think it does, but if I have any problems, I can always cut a slightly bigger circle. So let's see. It does just fit. Just. All right. Let's pop it on a block. C block is probably about the right size. And I'm going to go with Secret C because it will stand out well on the card. See, you get a bonus today, a bonus card. Hey, Tanya, nice to see you there. All right, see, it does just fit. If you want to, you could get a blending brush and, go over this a little bit with maybe some light cloud cover to give it a bit more substance and soften it a little bit. I'm just going to put this straight down flat. And then this one is going to have dimensionals. Usually 3 behind a circle. I don't know why. I just think it gives it a bit more stability. And that's, you know what? Now I'm doing this, I'm just thought of something else. Should we use a little bit of this? Let's see how that would look. If I was to just like loop it. When you've got dimensionals on the back, looping can work out really well for you. Now, I'm looping it how I'd like it to be, but now I'm going to turn it over and make sure that it's sticking to those dimensionals on the back. But because I use dimensionals, it's not going to stick anymore because the ribbon's stuck. So we're going to need a few more dimensionals to make it stick to the card. All right, so that should work. So I've got some dimensionals to hold the ribbon in place, and I've also got some dimensionals to stick it to the card. And let me get my scissors and chop that off. That's kind of cute. What do you think? Do we like that with the ribbon? And I have got, I made a mistake with a card last night and I pulled it off. And this, I'm going to use this because it's still a good card base. It's only the front that's damaged and I can cover that up. Yay. Don't ever throw anything away when you mess something up because you can sometimes salvage it and repurpose it for something else. Try and get that annoying cord out of the way. All right. And there we go. We do need some bling though, don't you think? Shall we have some of the flower blings? Which color shall we use? We've got Secret Sea, Misty Moonlight, Cloud Cover, and white. Which color would you use if you were me? I know, I love the sweet too. I don't think, well, I'd like to think that you can't make a bad card with it. I don't think you can. I think it's just so pretty and user friendly. Super nice. He might be upset that I'm using up his ribbon. I know. It's his favorite. But he doesn't know because he's shut down the end of the hallway at the moment. So, and there's a good reason why. Secret C, says Lorraine. Okay, let's go Secret C. You said it. You got it. And I'll just use the point of my scissors to put them on. Let me see. Where do I want them? I'm going to have one over here and then two smaller ones up here. They'll stand out better on that lighter color. And there we go. What do we think? Do we like it? Do you like the card? All right. So today I took a little extra time because I wanted to show you how easy it is to make cards with these beautiful products, even if you aren't a scrapbooker. But you can certainly do both. Okay. So today we have both for you. And I'm going to put up on the screen, I'm going to put up my information. That is where you go if you want to purchase anything you've seen today or anything else. If you go to my blog at lookwhatimade.com.au, you head over there. There is a shop now button up near the top and you can shop with me. And don't forget that every order over $60 in product, not including shipping, but every order over $60 also qualifies for next month's Craft Along supply pack. And every order over $125 meets my personal little reward that I'm giving at the moment, which is to celebrate my anniversary. I'm giving a pack of embellishments to everyone who spends over $125. So there you go. That's what we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope. I'm just going to switch back to me. Go back to comments. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, that's okay, Sue. You can always watch the replay. That's fine. Okay, how do we do? I know it's a smaller group here for scrapbooking. Not as many people join us, but I think they miss out because they didn't get to see us make this card, did they? And the leaf has fallen off the dove. Oh, that's because I never glued it down. That would be why. It's not stuck down. And Janine just reminded me, so I'm just going to stick a bit of glue behind it. That would be why. So let me pop that back in there. There you go. Now it's stuck down. So what do you think? Do we like the page? The colors are good. The colors turned out great. And I think if you have any blues and grays and browns and outdoorsy kind of stuff, or in this case, bricks and things like that, all looks really, really good. That is why. Oh, it does look like there's stars over his head. I hadn't thought about that. All right, you guys. Well, that's it from me today. I will be back on Friday evening with another sketchy night for you where we're going to do we'll do some more sketches and make a couple more cards. I hope that you enjoyed this today. If you have any questions at all about any of the products that you've seen, or if you'd like a catalog for yourself, please reach out, send me a message. There'll be under the description below the YouTube video, there will be my links, and I'm just updating that right now so that you can go and click on that after this video is completed. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic afternoon. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.